Hello everyone. Today's video we're going to be taking a look at how you can skip waypoints with the G1000. Now this is something we've taken a basic look at before, but I thought it'd be worthwhile to do a quick video just to help people out. So we have ourselves our lovely Diamond 62 here. We have an IFR flight plan that's going to be taking us over to not westerly, it's going to be taking us over to Rhode Island, but in this case it's going to be Francis Green Airport, which is kind of an interesting airport because they keep changing the name of it. It makes me absolutely crazy. So as you can see, it's real world conditions. It's not the nicest day outside, but again, it's nothing terrible either. I'm going to bring us up, try not to depart on the way up, pop up those lovely gear. Of course, you're supposed to leave the gear down on a Diamond 62, but that's okay. Pop up those lovely flaps, deal with all sorts of dinging and ringing and angriness coming out of my little system here. It's basically saying, hey man, you got to turn your pitot heat. Come on, man. Turn on the pitot heat. Everybody's turning on the pitot heat. You should put on the pitot heat too. Might be that way. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and pretend we're flying in the real world here. And of course, we would be doing half of what I'm doing now. That's all right. We're going to proceed direct over to Hartford. Normally what you do in the real world is they're going to go ahead and call you and say when you can turn. When you take off, you'd call them and say, hello. Hi there.
125.35, red.
So what they would do is they'd normally call you. You'd go ahead and call them and say, this is my altitude, this is what I'm doing. They'd say proceed on course. You wouldn't normally just turn your airplane around and start proceeding down south. But like I said, your time is precious, so I want to make sure I try to save as much of it as possible. You got it. All right, so now let's say we're cruising along here. I'll go ahead and lock everything up so you can see it pretty clearly here. Zoom out. We're supposed to cruise down to Hartford, and then we're supposed to come out to Jewett, and then we're supposed to go direct to Providence here. Let's say we get a call from air traffic control saying, hey, do you mind going direct to Jewett? We're like, yeah, that's going to save us 15 minutes. Heck yeah. So how do we do that? Well, the old-fashioned way would be to come over here, press the direct to button, and then dial in the one that you need to dial, then activate. Off we go, kind of a thing like that. While that works, there is actually a built-in shortcut in a G1000, which I kind of like. So I'm going to press the FPL button, which is this guy right here. I'm then going to go ahead and press FMS controls. I'm going to scroll down to Jewett. Now I'm going to press the direct to button. You see how I brought up this little display that says, is this the one you want to go to? I'm going to say activate. Now watch what happens. The aircraft line, our little magenta line of safety here, immediately indicates that we can now proceed a direct to Jewett. So you can see instantly, as fast as I can snap my fingers, we are able to quickly and efficiently switch to a specific waypoint and then travel to that waypoint. You know, this is super helpful if you're like on VATSIM or something like that, and they give you an instruction like that. By the way, in the real world, what they'll do is they'll probably say proceed direct Providence. And you basically have to point at Providence, even though we're on an IFR flight plan at this time. And yes, I am steering with my feet here. I'm not steering with my hands, but that's okay because it works fine. All right, so now that we're on our way, it's just a matter of flying directly to that waypoint. Now, you're probably saying, well, what happened to Hartford? What if they tell us to go back to Hartford? Guess what? It's right there. So now let's say we want to go back to Hartford. Come back here, we press direct, we press enter. And now notice, it will, in the real world, go ahead and snap back, just as it does in the simulator, to now go back to that original flight plan. Like I said, don't press direct, then pick flight plan, then do direct and enter, and you'll be able to quickly switch between waypoints at a moment's notice. Hopefully this video is helpful. Like I said, this is something that has been making me crazy for a long time, but I'm glad that we were able to make that feature work for us. Other than that, enjoy.